Hi, boys and girls. I'm sorry that I can't be there with you today. However, I wanted to share with you a very exciting project that we're going to be starting today. As you know, we've been looking at Mesopotamia and the creation of independent city states that emerged between the Tigris and Euphrates River Valley. Here you can see two pictures of what a city state would look like. You'll notice that some of the features that they both have in common include being surrounded by brick walls for protection. You can also see in the center of the city state that there is a place of worship or a temple called a ziggurat. You'll notice that it gets smaller as it reaches the top, which is where the gods lived. You will also notice that the farmland resides outside of the city walls. You can see that there is a public bath. There is mud brick homes and a variety of other walls for protection. So, what we're going to be doing today, and here's just another little overview of what city states were. And we do know that they were independent, meaning that they had to produce everything that they needed to survive. And sometimes these city states would be very competitive with one another and fight one another. So, that's why the walls were built for protection. Um, we mentioned about the ziggurat, which was in the center of each city state, and that is where they would have their religious rituals and sacrifices. So, what are we doing today? On the sheet of paper that you have in front of you with these directions, you will see that you are going to create your own safe and successful city state or village. City state village, we want to call it that. Here are some of the things that you're going to need to include in your city state. First thing, of course, would be your home. Where are you going to live? That will provide you with shelter. Remember that the homes were made out of mud bricks that were baked in the sun. So you will need to have a lot of um, protection or places for people to live, depending on how many people live in your city state. Of course, you will need farmland, which you will where you will grow your crops that you need to survive, and then also your animals. You need a water source, which would be the river. Um, in the city states of Mesopotamia, they had the Tigris and Euphrates. You would need an irrigation system, which could be like a little canal that would be an offshoot of the major river so that you could get the necessary water that you needed for your city state survival for crops and for the people to drink. And then finally, you need a defense system, which would be your mud walls or your body of water around your city state to keep invaders out. You have total autonomy or freedom to be as creative and original as you would like with your city state. Um, the step one is going to be to do a rough draft, which is going to be on the back side of the direction sheet that had just been given out. Next, here are some exemplars from students in another class. You can see that there's straw, that there's a river, that there are animals, that there are crops, that the brown along the edges would be your wall for survival. Here's another picture of a city state, which includes some trees. I see animals, crops, water source, a wall to keep out invaders. Here is another exemplar, again with all the qualities that we mentioned. And then finally, here is another exemplar. And I believe this is the last one. Oh, no, I have one more here, which has a variety of the items that we mentioned. Just a few reminders before you begin. Number one, please make sure that you do your rough draft in pencil on the back of the directions page that was just given out. Number two, please show your rough draft to either Miss Burns or your substitute teacher for approval. See if they'll give you a thumbs up before you start your poster or your good copy. The poster paper should be on the back windowsill or on the teacher's desk. Please use rulers for straight lines. You may use colored pencils, markers, crayons, anything to make this colorful and um, bright. Please make sure that you put your name and class period on the back of your poster paper. At the end of the period, or a minute or two before the bell rings, I would like for you to take your poster paper and please fold it in half. Um, Place it in the B period basket until tomorrow, and then when you come into class on Wednesday, your paper will be there. It won't be crumpled, it won't be lost or in your locker, and will stay in the classroom all 3 days of the project. Any questions, please ask Miss Burns. Good luck. I'm very proud of you, and I can't wait to see your city state construction.